What you guys, got another video here for you on how to display your CPU and GPU temperatures on your Windows desktop. This also allows you to display other information from your computer on your desktop. But first, let's have a word from today's sponsor, CD Key Sales. If you're looking for a cheap Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11 Pro OEM key, then check out CD Key Sales. The links are in the video description. Once you're there, click the Buy Now button and add in my promo code capital B capital R 09 and apply this to your order to get a discount. Once you've got this discount, it will take you to the payment page where you can select to pay with PayPal. And then once you've received your key in your account, you will then be able to go over to your Windows machine, hit the change product key, and then paste in your key that you've just purchased, and then activate your version of Windows 11 Pro or Windows 10 Pro. Anyway, I'll leave all the information in the video description. So let's get back to the tutorial, and what we're going to need to do is download some software. So we're going to need 8 Gadget Pack. This is a free download for Windows 11, 10, 8.1 and 7. You can download it. I'll leave the link in the video description. Once you download this, this will go onto your downloads folder. We can then download HW Info. We're going to download the installer version of this, not the portable version this time. We're going to go for the installer. So let's go to the installer version and download it. So you should see this page here. Just download the install version. So let's go ahead and get this downloaded. Now we're going to need one more little add-on program from HW Info. So let's go down to the list here. There's a little add-on that we're going to use, and it is called here, as you can see, HW Info Monitor. Now with these types of downloads, you may get a warning sign here saying keep or discard. I'm going to keep this file. It is safe to use, so I'm going to click keep. I will upload it to VirusTotal just to show you the actual file, so you can see there is no detection of viruses or anything like that. But I just wanted to make sure that you understand you have to click on keep to keep the file. It's because of the nature of the file and the browser security that is doing that for you. It does it for normal save files as well. It's a new feature of Windows 10 and Windows 11. So now let's go ahead and install these programs. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with HW Info and get this installed on the system. And then we'll get this configured so we can start adding our temperatures and CPU usage and all those other useful things that we want to see. So leave the tick in sensors here and then click on the settings. Now inside the settings pane under the general user interface, you can make check marks into the boxes that you want to have on your setup. So I'm going to show sensors on startup here, and I'm going to also check mark some of these other ones inside here. So minimize sensors instead of closing. And we can see here, minimize sensors on startup. And you've got minimize main window on startup. That might be a good one to check mark. And then we've also got our auto start here. I'll probably check mark this one as well. If you hover over them, it does give you some information on the little bubbles that pop up here. And this gives you all the information you need. Now there's a couple at the bottom, which I'm going to be clicking on here. And this is the shared memory support, and also the snapshot CPU polling here. This is for AMD systems. So I'm going to leave that check marked here and get this on the system because I have got an AMD CPU here. If you don't have an Intel, you can probably leave that unticked. So now I've got these all check marked. I'm just going to have a little look here at some other settings. And once you're happy with these, we can then click on OK here. Make sure you're using the latest version of HW Info and not an outdated version because it might not work correctly. And you can always check for updates down there on the bottom right. You don't have to install the beta version. Just make sure you've got an updated version. Okay, so what we need to do now is I'm going to click OK here with these settings. And we can now click Start. And this will open up the application. Again, it will be in dark mode. There is an update, but it is for a beta version. So I'm going to leave that alone for this tutorial. And what we're going to do here is take a look at some of the settings here. Now, you can right-click on the temperature here and add this to your taskbar and other things like that, but we're not going to be doing that in this video. I've already covered that in the previous video for Windows 10. If you want to see that video, let me know in the comments section. I'll make another updated video for it. So we're going to go to the general area here and basically put in here 1000 millisecond, and we're going to set that like so by hitting the set button. And there's a bunch of other settings inside here. You can have it under Celsius or Fahrenheit depending on what part of the world you're coming into. I'm in the UK, so we use Celsius over here. I think the States uses Fahrenheit, so if you want to use Fahrenheit you can do. And there's a few other little settings inside here that you might want to check mark or not. I'm going to leave as is. And basically, once we've got this done, we're ready to move on to the next section here. So let's go ahead and get to the next stage where we can then start installing the gadgets bar and get the add-on added in here. So let me close this off, and we're going to go back into the project folder here, and we're going to go ahead and install 8 gadgets pack here. So go ahead and install this on the system. And again, we're going to get this on here, and then we can then configure this once we get this installed. This puts the gadgets back onto Windows 11 and Windows 10 and other previous versions of Windows, just like you used to get in Vista. So if you like those gadgets, then by all means install this software, and you'll be able to get your display of all your temperatures and clock and other stuff on the right hand side here. As you can see, they're already populated on the right hand side of the screen, and now we can start to customize these. You can add more of these on here if you wish. There is some lovely gadgets that you can add here. We're just going to be concentrating on the HW Info gadget to add to this sidebar here. So let's go ahead and get this added on here. So first thing what I'm going to do here is show you the gadgets that come with the 8 gadget pack here. So let's go ahead and open this up by clicking on the little configure here. And you can see there's some little add-ons. There's 3 pages of them. And you can add these in, and don't use the HW Info if you don't want to. There's CPU meter in here and a bunch of other ones if you just want to add these to the taskbar and skip the HW Info type gadget, which I'm going to show you in a second. But let me just show you what one of these looks like so you can see what this gadget would look like with how HW Info gadget. So you can install these gadgets here. So let me do this all CPU meter here and just right click and add, and you can see it's added it to the taskbar here. This is not the one we're going to use. I just wanted to show you this one so you can get an idea of what it looks like with these gadgets, and you can customize it as well and go into the customization panel and make some changes to the colors and other things in there. But it's a pretty nice little gadget here. But we're looking at the HW Info gadget, and I wanted to show you how to configure this. But first, let's have a quick look at the settings here. And you can see there is some settings here which you can mess around with for this one. But we're going to concentrate on the other one. So let's go ahead and uninstall this. And we're going to go back and go into this one, which is our HW Info Monitor gadget. So all you need to do here, now we've got HW Info installed, is double click on this and install this little gadget here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So double click, click install, and this will add this to the taskbar. Now, this is a bit more in-depth because you have to start making some changes to it because it's going to put a list of stuff in here which you don't want. There's far too much info here to keep a tab on, and you can see, but if you want to leave it like this, you can do, but it's a massive big list of stuff, and you can configure this to condense this down to only the stuff that you want to monitor, i.e. GPU temperatures, CPU temperatures, network speed, for your download and uploads, and things like that. So you can get the general idea of all of the things that you can add inside here. So first off, let's go to the configuration, and we can configure this to whatever we like. We've got the refresh interval here, which is 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. So we're going to put that in there, and we can load this in, and you can see it's gone back here. So there we go. Let's go back. And now we can go to either Celsius or Fahrenheit, and we can come down here, and you should see the display filters. There's quite a lot of them here, and you can change these to whatever you want. And we're going to be deselecting all of this stuff because I'm only going to select a certain amount of items that I want to use. So you've got your page file usage here, physical memory load, and all this sort of stuff. There is tons of information inside here, probably information overload, as they would say. So let's go ahead and deselect all of these. Now, the good thing about this is it's not going to be on your desktop, so you can monitor this at all times. For instance, whether you want to check your temperatures of your hard drive or check the life cycle of your drive, and loads of other information that's useful. So let's hit the deselect all, and once we do this, you should see there is a small list here which is all frozen here when we click on it. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to go back inside here and configure this and only put check marks in the stuff that we want. It's because we've removed all of the check marks, so you will see something like this, and this is not correct because it's not working properly. So let's go back into our settings pane here, not the clock. So let's go back in here. There we go, options. And what we need to do now is come down in the list and check mark all of the ones that we want to use in our list. So I'm going to skip this bit because it does take a fair bit of time, but you've generally got the idea of what ones to check mark. So for instance, I'm doing my network up and down speed here. You can move these up in the list as well if you want to. Also, we've got our graphics card here, our CPU, and all that other good information here. So let me go ahead and change the information here and apply this to our list. And there we go. We've got our GPU, our CPU, and our hard drive. I can drag this down into the list and remove this because we don't want this one here. And I can leave the other ones here. And if you can sort this out the way you like yours, and that's basically how you can add all your system information from HW Info to your sidebar here. And my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a big shout out to Welsh Tony One, GeoSam, and Albert Houston, who have joined my Tier 3 group. Also, a big thank you to all my other YouTube members who have joined my YouTube members group. Tier 2 are going up on the screen right now, but let's just say a quick shout out to all my Tier 1 supporters as well who have joined my YouTube members group. I appreciate the support, guys, and I shall catch you in the next one. Hopefully, I'll see you on the Discord server. Bye for now.